It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go, here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it to your friends, come on.
Come on, come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You're still trouble in your home. Got you tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your wealth. Keep it moving, spirit flowing, because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on. Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show when people at night. That's right. It is the Sinclair Show coming to you live and direct. And first and foremost, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions, comments, thoughts that's on your mind, any little thing matriculating through that mindset of yours that you want to talk about. And we're going to continue to talk about each and everything that we can every night we on the air, because we just want to reach you, because you all are the valued listeners. And let me be clear about some things. Tonight's show gonna be a little touchy, just a little bit. And I don't even want y'all to get in your feelings. And I ain't even gonna snitch. Uh-oh, Lord have mercy. I can already tell y'all the show gonna be a little tight, because I just seen my little arch nemesis pop up on the air. Yeah, that right there. Let me go ahead and see who was the first person on the show tonight. It was your boy Jay Dizzle. What up, Johnny? Glad to see you in the house tonight. Yeah, that right there. And I ain't even gonna tell y'all, look at y'all girl, Nikki Carter, the arch nemesis herself, the president of the Me Too movement. Oh, Lord, hold on. I think I see James. What up, James? Glad to see you. But hold on, y'all people. Listen, the show is barely on. We ain't even a minute into the game. And she talking about no bashing women. Now, first and foremost, my dear sister, do you believe that I would come on to this profound network, to the Sinclair TV, Sinclair Talk? Do you think I would come up here and do anything to intentionally cause any type of negative vibe toward women? There ain't a chance that I would. Oh, you saying absolutely? Well, see, you're part of the reason why I get into these entrenched conversations, because you somewhere always lurking with negative energy. And I really don't even understand it. And people, listen, if y'all out here in listening land, and whether you are on YouTube and Facebook or Twitch or any of these other ones, or if you on the local TV stations or the radio stations, let me say this. A lot of y'all in the past have assessed that this is some childhood beef that I got going on with Nikki Carter. Let me say this as a matter of principle. I have never, ever even met Nikki Carter personally. Now, I'll tell you, I have a fondness for Nikki because Nikki been on the show for years, and she's proven to be a great adversary. But I'm not picking on Nikki Carter because we some childhood rivalry. I don't even know her like that. But I do know that I believe she is part of the feminist movement, the Me Too movement, because I ain't never known Nikki Carter to have anything. Oh, she talking about she come in peace. Oh, you came in peace. Well, it certainly didn't take you long to navigate your way from Peace Boulevard to that foolishness. Yeah. James said, but you feel in the chaos. Uh-oh, y'all. There go my homegirl, JC. What it do? What it is, JC. Glad to see you, JC. Hey, let me tell you something. We are about to have JC's kind of show tonight. Something in depth that you can all wrap your minds around. but I just had to come. Oh, James says she dwells in the chaos. Oh yeah, she definitely is chaos ready. But I want to say this as a matter of principle because I don't mind. Uh-oh, y'all. Look at Lady Elegance herself. Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard. She said, hello from Rocket City, Alabama. Yeah, that right there. Ain't nothing wrong with a little Alabama coming on through the system. Now, again, I want to go back to something because I know that once we start the conversation, the dialogue, if you will, tonight, I already know it's gonna make some of y'all feel a certain kind of way. Matter of fact, in all fairness, I shouldn't even have to take all of this negative energy by myself. Because truth be told, I got a homeboy, right? And like me, he prior military. And sometimes we be sitting up vibing about just regular life issues. But he the type of dude, I bet you he ain't even gonna look. If he show up tonight, he probably somewhere lurking in the shadows, but he ain't gonna put himself out there. But see, some of the times I don't even be thinking about some of this stuff. Sometimes I just go and scroll through whatever y'all done sent me and I pick a topic. But every now and again, somebody will bring me a topic that makes me scratch my head. And see, my homeboy be doing that, but then he be hiding. I don't know if he don't want to come to work looking like a raccoon because his wife had to give him a two-piece. I don't know. But tonight's topic, I believe, if I recall correctly, it came about from a conversation he and I was having. I wasn't even searching for this topic tonight. But I will say this. Nikki Carter says she come in peace. First of all, I just want y'all to know she lying. She does not come in peace. JC said, Jane Key, I can't call her. Now, let me tell y'all something, too. They go, my mama. Hey, mama. Now, I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. I had every intent on saying that I'm not doing the show tonight. I came in and I went down to see my mama, you know, give her a little hug, let her know her baby boy love her. And I told my mama, I said, Mama, I feel a little tired. Well, first I had to make sure her day was all right. But I told her, I said, I feel a little tired and I think I'm just gonna go and shut it down. Why my mama talking about? No, I told her, I said, I don't even think I'm gonna do the show. Why my mama talking about? Well, don't call it too quick. I think if you get you a little rest, you will still feel like doing the show. Now, my mama is 83 years old. We around here, she making me do the show. Come on now. That's how you know you got a good show when your 83-year-old mama be like, just get you a little power nap and go on and give it to the people. So, that being said, man, tonight's topic is a little different, but it has some merit to it. Like I said, my homeboy, I want to call his name. So, cause see, I think he's trying to hide in the shadows. But anyway, I got a homeboy named Delmas, right? I ain't gonna call his last name because I want to protect his family and everybody else. But I got a homeboy named Delmas. And Delmas is a critical thinker. And sometimes we be vibing just about regular things. And we got to talking about look, Delmas. Now let me tell you something. See, this how you know Nikki Carter does not come in peace. She want me to call out your last name again and put all your little business out there. I ain't doing it because listen. I protect the innocent. Y'all just be thankful that old Delmas might have struck a chord in my mind. And so we were talking about the way that people go about promoting themselves, whether it's professionally or personally, and whether it is on let's say professional sites like LinkedIn, or whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or X, whatever y'all calling it now, or even when y'all are dealing with some of y'all that's out there on dating sites, and we begin to ponder the way that people choose. James said, I told you about Nikki. She is a little scoundrel, isn't she? Yeah, she be trying to get that heat started, but we not falling for it tonight. We all come in peace. But as we were talking about the way that people market themselves, I want you all tonight to work with me to help me navigate through some of this, because I'm trying to process the way you market yourself. Are you getting the interest, whether it is professionally or personally? Hold on for a second. JC said, with a name like that, you don't have to say the last name. That's unique. Dag, Delmas, you out here in these streets already getting your name called out. Detective Pamela Black, what's going on? Glad to see you. And I really want to keep this in mind, that the whole conversation was nothing negative. It was about us figuring out, why do people expect more than what they receive from the public, be it professionally or personally, when we just took a snapshot and began to read how people market themselves in public domains. And I'm going to say this as a matter of record. After going through this little exercise with old Delmas, I realized that what was occurring in my mind is that there is a clear differentiation between how men categorize themselves, women categorize themselves, minority women categorize themselves, some of our Caucasian women categorize themselves, but even greater from a educational. Oh my goodness, y'all, he done popped up on the screen. There it is. There go my homeboy. Hey, he done made the headlines tonight. There you go, Delmas. What's up, big dog? And so I want you all to understand, it would have been easy for us to settle in and just say, oh, you can tell how somebody thinks or how somebody will respond simply based on their race or gender. But I think it goes even further. I think the education levels impact how you brand yourself. The financial brackets help impact how you brand yourself. And we're going to talk about them tonight. And I know Nikki Carter is out there just seething at the tooth, as old folks might say, because I'm certain she believes that this is, what JC said. JC said, because we think we are important than what we really are. Potentially, JC. But JC, let me tell you what I found. And we're going to actually, not we, I am going to actually read. I ain't going to put Delmas on the spot with no spelling bee around here. But I am going to read you some of the actual thing. Y'all, there go our homegirl. What's going on, Lacey Greer? We glad to see you up in the house tonight. Welcome back. But I want you all to understand that the process that we're going to go through, I learned something that went against the grain of my natural thought, because when you start reading what people post, you almost have to break down the data, as me and Johnny often say, and put it into a spreadsheet format so you can come up with a sensible conclusion. Because if I'm being fair, when I started off, I was just like, oh, you ain't got to worry about it. You can tell how people gonna act, based on certain factors. And I was I wasn't 100% wrong, but I was wrong in my assessment because I believe that I have locked in through my data collection methods a understanding of two things. And this is going to be important to both you women and men. How a person markets themselves tells you exactly what you can expect from that person. Y'all with me on that? Now, I didn't say it tells you the truth about that person based on whatever they put in print, but it does tell you what to expect from that person. Now, so that Nikki Carter doesn't have to jump off the porch immediately, I'm going to use some examples first of some men who posted up things either in some form of social media, right? And I chose to do both African American, white American, Hispanic. I intentionally sought out different demographics so that we can see how, and I think we're going to find that age plays a role in it too. So let me read from the first one. And this one came from a LinkedIn source. So I took two from LinkedIn. Now, this individual, I'm not going to immediately tell you the demographics. I'm going to see if you can guess based on what they're saying. Here's how they describe themselves. Currently a director of a Fortune 500 company. I have been in this industry for 19 years. I have a master's in biochemistry. I have been a leader for most of my life. I consider myself to be an acute reader, and I enjoy the finer things in life. All right. Now, just off me reading that segment, what type of, somebody see if you can pick and tell me what, describe that guy that put that out there. I'll wait. Now, y'all heard what I said. Now, Nikki Carter talking about that's a guy. Yeah, it's a guy. You know what, Nikki Carter, see, that's why you don't have any credibility out here in these social media streets. Because you always coming with some weak concept. Johnny said he believes that's an African American. All right. That's what Johnny says. Anybody else got to vote? Nikki Carter said between 36 and 45 and single. Hold on for a second, Nikki Carter. Let me see. She said between 36 and 45. Nikki Carter, okay. Age group is right. Now, the individual does not say whether or not they're single. Keeping in mind, this right here was not, this was on a LinkedIn site. JC said, I was thinking it was a woman. Okay. Jane said that right there. Nikki Carter said African-American for sure. Lacey said African-American. I want to go back to a point, and it's not even a point of contention, but I told you all from the start that I was reading from two different men's profile. But listening to the language of it, the dominant language of it, both Nikki Carter and JC said they were thinking that this was a woman. Now, does that say to us, hold on, JC said, what are the finer things in life? I don't know. They didn't deep dive into that. And I'm not going to add anything to it. I just wanted to read it as it is. But I am curious, finding that two of the ladies here on the show, even after being given the information that it was two males that I would initially be reading, their thoughts based on the way that the person described themselves was that it was a woman. So now my curiosity is, do women see themselves in more masculine descriptives? And is that the commonplace? And also, is it a situation where we have grown so accustomed to that? Clearly, I can tell you as a man, when I read it, I definitely didn't, even though, in fairness, I had the information and the image of the person, so obviously I knew it was a man, but I gave y'all that up front. But I just wonder, are we already learning something that women today, some, not all, when they hear aggressive leadership type traits and characteristics, even when told that it's a man, they find those characteristics in line with their perception of a woman? We're not judging. We're just asking questions. As old Delmas might say, we're simply collecting data tonight. All right? Let me take that back. I might be judging, but all right. I may as well switch gears and read. Now that one came from a social media, from LinkedIn. But I'm going to go, I'm gonna ask this question, because this might go in a totally different. Lacey said it could be a woman or a man. You're right, Lacey, it could be. But I think that I am curious as to, shouldn't there be, let me rewind that. I don't want to say that just yet. So let's switch gears. What JC saying? JC said, I honed in on finer things in life. I never heard a man say that. So you've never heard a man say he likes the finer things in life. Oh, okay. So it was that part of the phrase that JC said none of the dudes from where she from use that type of lingo. JC, tell the public what part of the country are you from, if you don't mind? Because this is just more data collection. I believe that we might begin to understand. Hold on. Nikki Carter. So you mean to tell me, with your unsophisticated self, you're trying to tell me that you believe that if a man says he enjoys the finer things in life, he couldn't be a heterosexual straight male? You believe he must be a gay man? Come on, Nikki Carter, you got to be better than that. James said most rappers. Okay. James said rappers say it all the time. They want the finer things. JC said, don't go there. JC, tell us where you're from. Lacey said, I've heard a man say that and use the word acute. See, Lacey, you know what, Lacey? That's why we like you being on the show, because you have a broad base of thought. Oh, saber-tooth Nikki Carter, she running around here. She done brought up that if a man says he likes the finer things, he can't be a heterosexual straight male. He's got to be gay. So you mean to tell me, Nikki Carter, that you don't know no straight men that talk like that? Oh, JC said she didn't want to say it. Nikki Carter said, wait a minute. You just said yourself that you never heard a man say, hold on, listen. if I've not heard somebody say something, I'm not going to assume that the person that said it had to be gay because they said it. That's some stereotypical. You know what, Nikki Carter? I should put you in timeout, but the people like you. You done already went to the bowels of the earth with your foolishness. I told y'all. See, I tried to give Nikki Carter the benefit of the doubt, but I should have known she was gonna go left. JC, you don't want to tell the people where you're from? See, I want to know because JC said she ain't never heard, and I just want to know what part of the country you might be from, because that might tell a story why you haven't heard anybody using that language. JC, what part are you from? Or you don't want to say? Nikki Carter said, I didn't say he had to be gay. Nikki Carter, if the first expression that you give when you find out it is a dude, which you knew from the start, because I told you, was that he must have been gay, that's on you. You said, I said a gay man might say something like that. Well, why didn't you say a straight man might say it too? You know what? Ooh, if the people didn't like you, I'll put you on about 10-minute timeout. But I'm just going, I'm a roll on with it. I'm a roll on with it. So y'all getting on my nerves now. JC said, I'm proud of where I'm from. Well, say it then. Say it loud like you proud. Tell us what part of the world you from. What part of the country you from. I just want to know. Like, if people ask me, I say I'm from Carolina. Matter of fact, I can say I'm from Jackson. I'm from the real country. See, I say it loud. I'm proud of my little town. Where you from? You know what? I don't even know how I'm letting y'all get my nerves in this little bunch tonight. But I'm going to say this. That came from a business site. You know, person describing themselves, their work history, said the background, if you will, and what they liked or didn't like, whatever. All right. And I can process that. All right. So now I'm going to read this one right here. And this one is a female, and this comes from a regular social media site. All right. Hold on. JC said, I'm from that 9 and I don't mind dying. Y'all heard me? Hold on. If she from saying she from the 9 and don't mind, that's got to be somewhere like, look, if we don't know nothing else, when you hear somebody say, you heard me, that's got to be New Orleans, Louisiana, somewhere down in there. Listen, that's why you ain't never heard nobody say that. Because ain't nobody in Louisiana talking like that. We're going to give you a pass. You have earned a pass just on saying you heard me. Boosie, Master P, and you say that. All right. Anyway, Nikki Carter said, what's a regular SM site? Name it. What do you mean an SM site? Oh, you talking about a social media site? First of all, start typing up the whole thing. Stop texting up here. Stop typing like you texting. When a regular site might be Facebook or X or any of those. All right. Look, Lacey said, not JC out here talking about she willing to die for hers. JC says, see, that's why I said don't go there. All right. Anyway, so this one came from a social media website. I believe this one, I can't even tell by the screenshot, but it says, I am, and this is a woman. She says, I am funny, smart, family oriented, spiritually confident. I cuss and I drink. I'm loyal and faithful. Funny thing, I'm a virtual dispensary realtor and I don't smoke. I don't date men that smoke cigarettes. It's not you, it's me. If you care to know why, I'll tell you. As a network marketer, supporting my grind also helps me shine. I don't knock the hustle or the hustler. Let's chat. All right. I'm just telling you. Uh-oh, y'all. Our homeboy Raleigh Rawls was on. What's going on, Raleigh Rawls? Now, Nikki Carter said this sounds like a dating ad. Well, Nikki Carter, because I'm not on a dating ad, I wouldn't know what it sounds like. I just told you social media, but it seems to me like you probably spend a lot of time on them, and I can understand why. You could probably be on because you got such a bad attitude, but we still love you on the show. Carson says she's single. Lacey ain't putting nothing but the eyeballs up. Yeah, JC, it is a woman. Carson said he wishing y'all nothing but peace and blessing. Annie Moore, what's going on? Glad to see you on the show. So this person describes themselves as being funny and smart and family oriented, spiritual and confident. They say they cuss and drink, but they loyal and faithful. Funny thing is that they are a virtual dispensary realtor and they don't even smoke. And they don't date men that smoke cigarettes. It's not you, it's me. If you care to know why, I'll tell you. Then they say, as a network marketer, supporting my grind also helps me shine. I don't knock the hustle or the hustler. Let's chat. All right. So JC said bad attitude. I wasn't talking about that person. I was talking about the person with the bad attitude, obviously, is Nikki Carter. And we know that. Nikki talking about OMG, alternative facts not in evidence. Now, I don't have any facts. I just read what the person said. Oh, Carson says she must be ugly. I don't know nothing about that, Carson. I don't have the image of the individual. But let's go back to the descriptive part of it. All right. So this person starts to tell us as a narrative that all of the best qualities that they believe that they have. Well, maybe not all, but at least a lot of them. Okay. And look at what they said. I'm funny, smart, and family oriented, spiritual and confident. All right. Cool. All that was hidden. And I could understand it. It wasn't, in my opinion, overboard, but it did give us some understanding that this person is trying to convey to us, Joe Public, that they find themselves to be well-rounded. James laughing at Rawls. And I want you to understand, remember, what we're talking about tonight is the way you market yourself professionally, personally, spiritually, or otherwise. Do we have a right to assess something based on what you provide? JC said, once again, I never heard a man say, let's chat. It's certain lingo a man use and a woman use. Well, JC, you're saying that because where you're from, they don't use that lingo. I don't think you can assess lingo specifically to be gender-based, because the first person said that they like the finer things. And then I think it was somebody said that they know for a fact they've heard rappers say they like the finer things. So instead of it being lingo that is attached to a gender, could it be that people who have a certain income level, their mindset thinks a certain way? And this is not to imply that someone who doesn't earn a certain amount couldn't also have been exposed to these statements or comments and understand what the finer things in life is. It's not a statement that I would personally make, but I'm country. And so me being a country dude, you know, I just as soon walk around barefooted and with a t-shirt on, because that's how I am. I'm confident enough about who I am, what I've done, what I've achieved in life, that I like being regular, and regular to me as a country guy is different than it might be for somebody else. Raleigh Rawls said, funny acting, smart. I'm going to leave that other part alone because I don't want to get kicked off one of my networks. Loyal to herself, spiritual when need be, etc. JC said, no. James said, less chat is lingo from a computer savvy person or a nerd. All right, JC. So James just explained that people who are tech savvy would use the phrase less chat because that's their dynamic of interaction. So it doesn't have to be that the only people that use the phrase less chat is a woman. He's saying it can also be skill set driven as to what language and what phrases you choose to deploy. Now, Raleigh Rawls got something out of it that we hadn't even got. Raleigh Rawls, and in fairness, let me say this. Raleigh Rawls is actually a doctor of psychology, so he's got an alternative perspective that is geared not only in just his opinion, but some scientific theories as well. And he's saying to him that when she's describing herself as funny and smart and loyal and spiritual, that is some level of a cover-up for what you might really get. Matter of fact, Raleigh Rawls says, so when a person has to include their character resume, then that's a red flag. Psychologically, she has a problematic personality that can be more associated with flaws. Uh-oh, y'all. Dr. Rawls then came into camp and told y'all that, and I'm going to remix it for you, break it down so some of y'all might be able to process it, because we know Nikki Carter got a AA battery in her bag. She don't have a D set. She don't have them bigger batteries. She just got a little AA, so she might not get this the way he said it. So let me break it down for you, Nikki Carter. What he's saying is that in human nature, generally speaking, when someone is describing themselves when not asked, if you will, that generally speaking, people who have the types of character that is described generally won't say it because they know that their actions will speak louder than them claiming these things. Okay? Now, he's saying, generally speaking, someone who oversells and over explains themselves as these types of things generally come with some other things in the tank. Lacey said, is this a new person or the same woman? I had to get off for a second. Okay, we're just talking about the same woman that wrote about her characteristics. Esther Shepherd, what's going on, y'all? They go my armor bearer. Carson Rawls said, facts, Dr. Nick. See, and I want y'all to understand something. Like, Carson being a doctor of psychology comes with that background that he will dissect things based on training. Myself being a counselor for many, many years, having hundreds of interactions with different families, and you begin to notice certain things. Now, I'm not saying this woman is a bad person because she sees herself like this. I am saying if this woman is on some type of dating site, you have to be mindful and read between the lines of what you're likely to, if you become acquainted with that person, what you're likely to get. All right, let's go to another one because I don't want y'all just ragging on that one, and we all can't be from New Orleans. All right, this person says, I am 49, almost 50. I enjoy traveling, playing dominoes, spades, and talking trash. If this is an issue, please pass by. I'm old school in many respects. I ain't even gonna read no more of that. And I'm not looking or interested in anything casual. I'm looking for a serious relationship. Is that a male or a female? Let me listen to it. Let me describe the top part again. I'm 49, almost 50. I enjoy traveling, playing dominoes and spades, and talking trash. Who we talking about, people? JC said that's definitely whoever it is. JC said she might not be calling out the gender, but she know good and well they got to be of a minority descent. Actually, Nikki Carter, this wasn't a dating site that this one was from. This was just somebody's profile off of Facebook. So you're wrong in that. Nikki Carter, what is it with you with dating sites? Is that where you hang out at? That's probably why you probably can't keep no man or get one, because you're too busy harboring yourself around on dating sites. You know, go somewhere where you got to deal with real people, real interaction. All right. So Rawls says it's a male. Nikki Carter says it's a male. Anybody else? Nikki Carter said none of these sound serious. Oh. JC said that's a hard one. I can't tell if it's a male or female. Lacey said African American man or an alpha woman. Oh my goodness. Lacey done jumped off in that other side of the trenches that we about to get into. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know. I don't know if y'all can see this, but that person's name is Keisha. So it's absolutely a woman. Now think about that. Based on the way that Keisha was talking, both men and women believed it to be a male, or as Lacey said, a alpha woman. Now, I want y'all to rock with me on this. I don't have no problem with a person describing themselves any way they want to. And again, Nikki Carter, that's just regular old Facebook. There wasn't no dating part. Get your mind right. Matter of fact, why don't one of y'all ask Nikki Carter out so she can have a date, so she can get off these dating sites? Anyway, let's keep it pushing. But we're getting to something that I think is an important factor. And ladies, this may be helpful to you because some, not all, of you are describing yourselves in regular platforms in a manner that makes you seem or would give the inference that you're a man. Or as Lacey said, an alpha woman. Or, well, Lacey, let's rephrase that. A woman who thinks she's an alpha. Let me say that much. And there is something to be said about that. Rawls says she has a masculine personality. Ladies, take note. This isn't me saying it. This is some of your homies who come here every single week. Many of them been up here for years. So we're not judging you, to whoever that Keisha was. We're not judging and saying there's anything wrong with it, but we want you to understand that when you're describing yourself in a particular manner, whether it was the man describing himself or the women describing themselves, be cognizant of what you're putting out there, because we will all draw inferences from what you put up there. If you out here talking hard like a man, and guys, let me say this. I know I'm gonna regret this because this ain't gonna do nothing but give Nikki Carter all of the fuel that she is desiring to have to go left. But the fact of the matter is, guys, if you come across somebody on a professional page or even on a regular social media page, and you are considering that individual to get to know them, whether it's just from a personal standpoint, a business standpoint, or otherwise, you have to look at what they say about themselves, how they describe themselves, what type of images they post, and draw an inference. Is this the type of person you'd like to have in your circle of acquaintances? Because don't think that she talking hard like that to the point where at least 80% of the people who responded thought that this was either a man or a woman with man type qualities. Ross said she sounds like she may have a history of going to court or a few outstanding warrants. Ross, I ain't riding with you with that. I don't know nothing about that person. So I want to be fair, but it does sound like, ladies, in this particular inference, because it resonated with you all so well, it does sound like some of you need to consider, go and look at your Facebook or your social media presence and reevaluate, how does it sound to another individual who might read it? You put it out there. I'm just saying. Because imagine this. And imagine that a man were to write a description of himself and he's using some phrases. Well, matter of fact, we could go off this. Just because a professional male said he liked the finer things in life, he was categorized by Nikki Carter as more than likely being gay, which there was nothing in the profile to indicate that. It was just a professional saying, I done worked hard, I make a good living, and I like the finer things in life. I didn't find anything that was sensitive in nature to that. But it could be that when you have evolved to a different way of thinking, a different tax bracket, a different way of navigating your own self. Raleigh Ross said the problem is when you write your profile for dating, you could be writing that you're not dateable. That's true. Well, Carson, what about the guy whose stuff was simply on LinkedIn? Did he do anything wrong? Or is it certain people who are not used to a professional type of man read that and immediately thought any man who is speaking with a level of dignity and clarity must be gay? So are you all implying that dudes out here cannot have good dialogue, cannot have proper English and or etiquette? Because if you fall into that category, then are women naturally going to look at you as if you might be suspect? And this is not anything. Let me pause and make this clear. The show tonight is not about whether or not somebody thinks that a particular language is gay or feminine or whatever. We're not judging any of that. We're looking at how you market yourself, and or do we need to change as a society in general? Because why would somebody like Nikki Carter, who is probably well versed and well traveled, she probably got a little hood to her as well, and I'm only gathering that because she always ready to go to level 10 up here. But again, I've never met Nikki, so I'm not being fair to her from that perspective. I'm judging her off my perception on this show, and that's not an accurate assessment, I'm sure. I believe Nikki Carter is probably a very, very nice woman. I wouldn't date her because I believe Nikki Carter is certainly part of the Me Too movement, but I believe she probably is dateable. But a man would have to understand that whether it is based on life experiences, learned, earned, or taught to yourself, you become a certain type of individual. And Nikki Carter, like many other women, may have found themselves in unique positions of either by force or choice being in a leadership role in their lives or in the home, which could be making some of you, and I'm just saying this, it could be making some of you appear to the general public as having masculine thought processes, concepts, or actions. Nikki says some things shouldn't be on a professionally based profile. Well, why do you say that, Nikki Carter? You think that a person describing themselves professionally, what did he violate by putting that? Because the only thing that was really personal is him talking about he works hard, he's worked to get his both an educational standpoint and career-wise. I didn't find that that individual did anything wrong. Lacey said, I've had some friends who were told by some of their male friends that they are too hard and need to be more soft. And that is a perspective. Raleigh Ross said, less is more, such as African-American male, educated, professional, age 50, and looking to date with the possibility of long-term romance. Okay, cool. But let's, again, the first guy was not on a dating site. He was simply on LinkedIn. He didn't even indicate anything about his dating preferences, nothing about that. Nikki Carter got stuck on that because the man said something about based on how he has crafted his professional career, or whether or not he likes to work hard because he likes the finer things. He was definitely, I could tell by the image because it has the LinkedIn logo on it, that the person was simply a LinkedIn profile. But does it go to say more about us? And Lacey has already said, and I concur with her when she's saying, some of you ladies need to make a assessment if you don't want to be viewed as having male characteristics. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if I want to even jump off this bridge. Delman, should I jump off the bridge with it? He ain't even said nothing. He's sitting it out to my man. I don't want no parts of this mess. Let me say this. And I want to be fair. But ladies, I don't think that to some of you who may not be able to find the type of man that you want in your life, maybe it's because the type of man that you say you want is not going to be attracted to someone with a man's personality. I said it. I verbalized it. I said it. No disrespect. Carson said, we're a subject and judgmental society that we are. JC said, I agree. If it's a professional profile, who cares if you like to pay bones, the finer things in life, and want to chat? Carson said, jump on off there. Nikki Carter said, how this get to be about women and how we view things. Listen, it's not just about it. We've been talking about guys too. Nikki Carter, see, that's why you get stuck in neutral. Because your mind just won't let you go with the flow. You always got to be anti-something. Lacey says, some men like that and some men don't. I personally indulge in my softness. Listen to Lacey saying she indulges in her softness. And again, I'm not knocking ladies, both sexes, but he's viewed off the path. No, I don't think I'm not viewed off the path. I am the path. You got on this path. But I'm saying it to you all because I want to leave you all today, both male and female, with one specific thought. Be monitoring and be mindful of what you use both in professional, social, spiritual, or otherwise social media and web platforms, because you are giving people what you want them to know and think and feel about you. When I said ladies, because I'm giving ladies some insight from a male perspective, Nikki Carter, and maybe you can't process that. Maybe most men wouldn't sit down and have this kind of conversation with you, Nikki Carter, because maybe you stay on the defensive and maybe they feel like they don't want to waste time. If you're upset by me giving you some insight from a male perspective, Nikki Carter, you needed to be thinking about, why do you feel the way you feel? All I said to ladies is, if you're putting your information out there from the perspective of wanting someone to consider you for whatever, dating, friendship, or otherwise, you may not get the feedback that you're looking for, because the type of man you may want may not be attractive to a hardened, more aggressive, more male-like or alpha-like sounding profile. I'm trying to help you, Nikki Carter. And I don't even know what your profile is saying. Nikki Carter said, why you got to say my whole name, man? Because you be trying to take me down that road. And all I was trying to do was a good deed. I was trying to let y'all know, because we've sat here, and matter of fact, Nikki Carter, I need you to understand, it was you and other women who also said that the woman's profile that was talking about playing bones and spades sounded hard like a man. JC said, bruh, you gonna stop going in on Nikki Carter. Hey, maybe I will, JC. You want to take a place? Because facts is facts. And as Raleigh Rawls often say, we deal with facts over feelings. If I'm trying to help you, I would much prefer that some of y'all simply say thank you, because nobody may have ever told you that before. Instead of getting mad because a man is saying to you, a woman in this case described herself. Now, she didn't do anything wrong, but you all, ladies, thought that it was a man because of the tone and choice of words. So I made a recommendation to those women who are not finding success in finding friends or people to just hang out with or relationships, that maybe you should review your profile, because maybe your profile makes you look hardened or and masculine in some way. Don't get out here and start listening to Nikki Carter, because you will wind up without a dude, because all she gonna do is tell you, oh, why he talking about women. Well, who else can tell a woman what a man thinks? Or, you know what, Nikki Carter, maybe you can, because maybe you have a masculine personality or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand why you mad. Because I promise you, when women were talking about, if a woman was to look at a man's profile and say, hey, he needs to understand that part of what he's saying makes him sound feminine, I don't think men would be mad. If men know that saying the finer things makes women think that you might be gay, they probably will stop using the phrase. Nikki Carter talking about, JC, thank you picking on me again. Man, get up out of my face. Raleigh Rawls said, I would love to see the ladies here to write about themselves and provide them feedback. I think Raleigh Rawls done laid down a little challenge. Look at her. See, ladies, y'all think I be coming for Nikki. You see them pitchforks? That's how she be all the time. I told y'all, that's my homegirl. I think she's a valued member of the show. I think she stands up for women all the time. But I do believe she has a jaded perspective, and that I've never heard her say anything good about a man. Ever since I have known Nikki been on this show probably for at least 5 or more years. JC said, that must have been your profile. That's why you in your feelings. No, first of all, I don't even think I've written anything. If you go out to any profile I got on social media, it's the bare minimum. I don't even talk about myself like that. But that's just my thing because I'm a little bit more private and I understand whatever information you give. Ladies, I give you another little hint. Men view things like, I've seen profiles where women who are very family oriented will say, hey, I'm a mother of 3 kids and my kids are my life and this and that. Ladies, let me tell you what that means to a man. That means that a man shouldn't be dating you because you've already told him if he comes into your life that your kids are your life. It doesn't mean you're a bad woman. It means probably that you're a great mother, but it definitely says to a man, you are probably not the person for him to be dating. Nikki Carter, if you gotta go, get off the show. I know it's your bedtime. You gotta get out there and fly around on your broomstick. Anyway, you say your profile is sweet. Well, Nikki Carter, post up your profile so we'll know what to say. JC said, you know you drink with your pinky up. Who, me? Do I? I don't know. I might. And what does that mean? I do. It's a natural thing. Let me tell you something, JC. One thing you ain't ever got to worry about. I don't have no problem with my masculinity. And I drink with my pinky up. I wear pink shirts. I like pastel type colors because I got a skin tone that can wear them. I think some of y'all, me knowing what skin tone colors match might make y'all feel like, oh, that's some feminine. No, it means I know what color palettes are. That right there. You talking about get them, JC. What that mean? Let me see what my homegirl said. Lacey said, I understand that, and I'm private as well. You only gonna know what I put out there, but I also carry myself in a manner where you can tell a lot about who I am based off what I post and how I speak. See, that's a grown woman's comment right there. Nikki Carter, I think instead of you around here high-fiving JC because she defending you, you might want to be screenshotting some of what Lacey is saying, because what she's telling you is, well, what she's telling all of us, she didn't single you out, is if you want somebody to feel a certain kind of way about you, be what you say you are. Don't be out here talking about, oh, I'm a great listener and you can't shut up. You don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say. You're not a great listener. People be out here talking about, oh, I do this. I can tell you right now, some of y'all got in y'all profiles, oh, I'm a great cook. I do all these things, and you ain't cooked a meal in years. Stop lying. Look, Lacey said, nah, don't put me in there. Hey, Lacey, look, I know you ain't say nothing out the way. I know you didn't say nothing out the way. And I'm not going to let nobody jump on you. Look, people, I got to get off this show. Y'all got my blood pressure up. I shouldn't even have been on the show tonight, but my mama told me I had to. Oh, and what y'all going to say? Because I always be talking about mama. I love my mama. Matter of fact, I burn the city down for my mama. See, y'all think certain things is feminine. When you a real dude, you don't have to be worried about somebody thinking you a certain kind of way, because you know what? I operate at a higher vibration than some of y'all probably have experienced in your lives. You don't understand nothing about that. Some of y'all still processing that kindergarten stuff. Get your vibration level up. Don't let that go over your head. I'm out, people.
It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The Sinclair Show is